thank you so much for joining us today for this Emerald Paradigm video. You're probably going to be wise enough to know that we're recording this the same day that we did our last one. And the reason for that is that Blanca's going away. Next week is the holiday is coming. Next week's my birthday, and I'm going to take some time off. So we're stacking them up a little here. But our intention is to always give this and create this for you so that when it reaches you, whether it's the day we post it or a year or whatever later, that it resonates, that it means something to you. So just to kind of put that out there, I like to have that, I don't know, acknowledge that. We're doing something very similar again. We've edited it the tiniest bit. We've adjusted the lighting, but we're doing something very similar to the last video we created, which was choose a card. And we're going to talk on that and just, you know, see where the conversation takes us, chill out, get your coffee or tea, and just, you know, hang out with us for a little while, and hopefully we'll provide some insight to you. Of course, like we addressed last time, there are a lot of retrogrades going on, and what we're doing here is going with the flow, which we encourage everyone to do. So, you know.
Yeah, and you know what? This time, you know, where we had 3 in the previous recording, we kind of felt past, present, and future. And I like that because, you know, the past only serves us for what? To just look back and, you know, and reflect.
Sometimes I like to see it as like something we can release too. Like it might still be there and it's time to move past. Acknowledge that's the past.
But we can learn something from it, which is why a past card is good. Just to see what we can reflect and or learn from, right? And
it can be validating too.
It can be very validating, yeah. And then the present, of course, it's always in this moment, but, you know, it's always so exciting to be able to look, take a snapshot. And when we're doing readings, you know, we look for that validation, that it resonates, you know, that, yes, this is where I find myself. When I ever do, I never do 3, you know, very rarely 3 card readings. Yeah. But if I do, I always say the last card is, you know what? It's a potential, because the future is always being rewritten by us. Right?
Absolutely. So if it's something you don't like, know that you can change it. And if it's something you're working towards and you want to bring in, connect with it, anchor it, you know? So I feel that way too. And I think that past, present, future, you know, at a glance sounds so, oh, your past, your present, your future, you know, if you're not like open to remembering, like, oh wait, I'm always creating, I'm always in control here. So,
without a doubt. You know, nothing is set in stone. And it doesn't mean that it takes away from the validation, potential validation of an oracle reading. It just simply is a powerful reminder that at the end of the day, we co-create, and that we can always you know, supersede anything that even, you know, even the most beautiful reader, oracle, you know, medium is telling us that we can make another choice and go in another direction. Right?
Definitely. I think we've shared that before too in other videos that
well,
like we've gotten like,
if I tell you, I still repeat that, right, 20 years after doing this work,
you have
always to allow the individual to remember that none of this should be influential to the point where we feel disempowered.
Exactly. This is for
reading,
empowerment.
charts, healings. It doesn't matter what it is. It should not feel ever that is so, you know, influential that it's taken away your power.
Right. Yeah. It's just to open your eyes, give you something to think about, and you know, they're very helpful tools, definitely, but like you're saying, it's not an attachment kind of thing.
I love this little stone that you picked. I'm going to show it.
It's such a funny little guy.
I absolutely love it.
It has a face, right?
I see feel a personality, of course you do too. And there's a little civilization that I've shared with Loon that has come to me that I call marshmallows. And I
love it.
Totally.
It is a marshmallow.
Yes.
It is.
Oh my goodness, so sweet.
That's like an agate from Lake Superior. So that's a Lake Superior agate.
And then we have this beautiful
tree agate.
Tree agate. Agates are very grounding, right?
Soothing too. I like to think of the tree as like it's rooted, but it still can like access the cosmos too. You know, like it has that.
Well, this one feels very cosmic.
It does. It does.
And you know, actually, in the beginning, I said to Loon, I felt a very cosmic energy on my, you know, like on this side. So we'll leave that open to grounding, but cosmic, because I kind of feel that there's a lot of cosmic energy.
It does have both of them, where this one does feel much more grounding, like that it came out of the watery mud of a lake, where this one has like this potential. It's like, it's still getting that energy and that light from the sun, or whatever, however you want to picture it. And then the last one is selenite wand, actually. We just
I love it.
couldn't, right?
Yes.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorites.
It's beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous. We can always have a selenite and a wand at that. You were sharing, Loon, how she uses it to sweep and to open up, right?
To like cleanse the chakra points.
I love it as a wand. And actually as an antenna.
I have two.
We can do some, right?
Yeah.
I feel that selenite is like an antenna straight up to the higher dimensions.
Definitely.
And so,
it is a very high vibrational stone.
Very much so.
It's funny, a lot of people will think to like put something like that by their bed because it's purifying, but it can actually keep you up at night. You have to see if you're, you know, some of us, you know, if you want to keep it, I'd say keep these agates nearby so it balances. But yeah, it can totally keep you up.
I would definitely not keep a selenite near the bed. Unless you want to find yourself on the 12th planet.
Right. Joel, like you wake up, you're like, oh, where was I?
Jasper, Tiger's Eye. That sounds more like
it. Right. I always do like a braciated jasper. That's my favorite.
Okay.
Great. Yeah.
And so here we are.
We're going to ask you to pick one, and you know, you could pick more than one. It's not a big deal that way, but we're just looking for guidance for you to hear at this time, whatever this time means for you. Wherever you are, we travel beyond time and space here, you know, with now the help of digital sharing and stuff. So, but even still on an energetic level, we access those things. So, you know, there's no limits there, is to say. All right. So I'll let you go first over there since you're so close. I don't know, this one feels like first, certainly, you know?
And so
the marshmallow.
The first card down, right? Or
yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. And so the first card out is the fairy cards. And it is, let me just show it to you.
Goodbye to the old, hello to the new.
It's interesting because it's perfect for the past, right? In the position of the past. Goodbye to the old and hello to the new, you know? Wow. Definitely about recalibration is what I'm hearing. And, you know, recalibration, and what that means is almost like the positions in the shamanic, you know, journey, the directions. Perfectly okay to change directions is what I feel with this, you know. And of course the card is literal, goodbye with the old, to allow yourself to honor what was, you know, what was your past, whatever transitions, you know, whatever experiences, because as quickly as you set them in their place, then you open the door for something new to arrive. Yes, definitely.
I love it. I love the green. I'm just like so drawn to these like tropical lilies or whatever they are. Just very lush, rich, fertile. You know, I see just like a fertility of like, yes, you're ready to give birth, to create, you know, whatever that new is. So they did a good job with that, with the colors on that.
Yeah, they did, right?
Okay, right, I'll go this. This works out perfect because it's like, you know? All right, so we have hope for right now. So this is present, we would say, right? Hope we're going with. I mean, we actually didn't discuss this very well. Past, present, future. There we go. But hope looks like a nice ruby or like red, like beautiful gem with this white dove flying over it or almost out from it, or almost like it even dropped it, like it's like bringing it to you. So
I feel phoenix energy in there.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Transmutation.
Transmutation, definitely. But it's a very sweet and supportive reminder that, like, yes, continue to whatever you're focusing on now. If this is the present, there is hope, and it's not like, oh, there's hope, it will get better, but hope for the best, hope for like a reminder for like the best case scenario, and hold that and hold it and don't let go of it. It's not like a hope like, oh, I wish. It's not like that at all. I think people confuse that sometimes with hope, or it's easy to, like, oh, I hope I, you know? Hope as in you are empowered. An empowered hope, not a subject to anything. The ruby, or whatever this is really speaking to me here. It almost looks like a meteor, like coming to bring change. You know, like something like really, really special. There is something really special and valuable in some capacity for you coming in like presently. It's not even like a thing, so you might find that going on in your life, like it's the delivery is here practically at this point, is what I'm getting.
I totally resonate with that, by the way. I love when you said meteor, because I feel phoenix energy, something coming from above. I think the card is beautiful in the present position and saying your prayers or your, you know, something that you've been urgently asking for is being answered. Yeah,
delivered. So bringing awareness too, because sometimes we're working towards something and it comes and we're so focused on the next thing that we don't even like kind of really truly acknowledge it. Like for me, like I recently hit a milestone on my other channel, or us as well, you know, when we like get the milestone and it's like, oh, it's great, but we're already on to the next thing. It's like, no, we need to celebrate like we said we were going to, you know, like that kind of thing. So if there's anything that we're not paying enough attention to that we wish for, but hey, we got it, like give thanks, give like a pay of respect, and whatever that means, like lighting a candle is thanks or something like that. That's what it seems like to me. Like don't overlook it, you know, that kind of thing.
Powerful card.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Oh, those are amazing.
And so the future card is, again, the potential, the probable future, but of course we always can change it. And so the probable future card is the fates. How funny that it says fate and it's in the future. Yeah. Right?
And multiple. It's like plural. Yeah.
And don't you love that or what? And so how interesting that we said, you know, the future is, you know, subject to change because you're a creator, and it says the fates. I don't know, you know what? I feel though a slight struggle here. And what I mean by that is try not to control the future as much, but co-create with it. You know, does that resonate?
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Like, don't, oh, by this date I should have this done and I'll be here. It's not about that type of control. Like, yes, we have control, but we can't plan in divine timing. We don't have that skill yet, you know? I mean, a lot of us don't anyway. So yeah, I see that as the struggle, like too much planning or too much focus.
And I also feel that the struggle may also surround when it manifests. So in other words,
like impatience or,
you know, and this may sound a little like a what, but you know, when we bake something, right? We take the time, we put the ingredients together, now we have to put it in the oven, and we start getting that aroma, right?
We check, oh, is it
start
done?
Anticipating, and yeah, we want to have that piece of cake or whatever, you know, pastry, but we have to give it time. We'll know when it's ready. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so I kind of feel that whatever you've manifested or put out there, it is coming, and yet try your best not to control it. You know, or to interfere.
I love that. I also get that, like, it just is like a reminder too of how so many things are tied together. You know what I mean? Like that. Wow, you know, like you don't know what this might mean for someone. Like even going back to the timing. Like, oh, well, I want this now. Well, you don't know how much is tied to that time. Perfect example, those who are trying to have a baby, let's say. Like, that's a very stressful thing for a woman to go through when they're trying and they feel like they need to do it now. And it's creation, you know, it's creation. But the thing is that your baby is almost predetermined in a way. Like, that soul who chose you, who needs to have a specific birth chart, let's say, is also in your fate. Like, that's the fate of that child too. So just to like give things that grace of like, there's so much that goes into this orchestra, you know, that.
And you're so right, Loon. That's such a great highlight that you just made, because sometimes when we're desperately waiting for the fruition of something, we're so tunnel vision in that just one thing without becoming the observer to recognize that there's so many different other facets.
Right.
You know, things that may need to be dismantled in people, places, and things in order for then the next thing to come through.
Right.
And you can apply that to relationships or to a work situation, to moving. You can apply it to
everything.
Any situation.
Everything. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot tied into every string, like a spider web.
Absolutely.
You know? So.
I love that because it's so divinely true. You know, no matter how we think something is just for us, it never is.
Right.
Nothing is ever.
Right. And it works perfectly for all of us.
Perfect.
All right. So, marriage. So in the past, there was some kind of union, we could say, you know, obviously. I don't, you know, marriage is very, what this says to
cut
me
and
is more,
dry.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean you were all married in the past kind of thing, but there was some kind of contract, some obligation, some type of commitment, and whether we find out that we're growing from that together or if it's time to cut that. This is, for me, showing... It's a reflection tying in that everything is kind of going to be stacked upon during the reading for this one. That there is something tied to a promise, a commitment, a co-creating, I want to say. And I'm not really getting a strong sense of whether it was good or bad. So, I mean, and I hate to even use the words good or bad, but there's something in our past that needs... just to be pondered about or thought about, or it's gonna, the rest of the cards might play into it, but that's kind of where it's taking us now. So let's see what plays out.
Interesting.
Right. It's very cut. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, I agree with you. You know, I mean, left on its own, it would indicate that the possibility, the promise of a commitment of sorts, a union of sorts. And so that resonates to anyone who picked the agate, of course. But I feel like you, that because it's the first card, that other things
they're
will
gonna
be
play
revealed. You know? Okay. Planetary cycles. And now I can't pronounce the name of the angel there.
Oh, yeah.
Not that it's...
Sendeloffen, something like that. I'm not really good with pronunciation.
Neither am I.
And I don't
By the way, we're using the Atlantean angels, this particular deck, which is the only reason why I'm bringing that up. Wow, planetary cycles. You know, if I look at this by itself, right, we are going through an incredible retrograde. And as a present card, it's just reminding us. I feel that this card is speaking by itself at the moment and saying there is a very powerful rotation of energy, stability. You know, have awareness, but stable gentleness.
And tied to the union.
You know, You know. And if we tie it, of course, now I see something like a little different, which is the movement of changes and finally reaching a state of stability. And I would love to hear from the reader, you know, from the audience, if this resonates, you know, if you picked this one, because I feel suddenly, wow, one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, finally coming into a state of exhale and stability. So I hope that really is speaking to you and it brings a message of hope that things are stabilizing. How about you, Lou?
Yeah. No, I feel that too. They're all like stacked on top of each other in this, and I see that it's like alignment, like the stars have aligned, that kind of thing. Maybe you were wishing for a type of union and now it's coming in as well. Like that could be for some of you too, or if this was in your past, like even if you didn't have it, this was a primary thought. This was a primary thing that was like in your mind or what you wanted, let's say. And or you already have that kind of marriage, union, contract or whatever, but now is the time where I almost want to say it's a completion, and that could be a completion like, now let's take the next step. I'm sure for some of you, you might feel the opposite though, and it's like, okay, we did our work here, you know, now it's time to, I don't want to say separate, because I certainly don't just give readings like that, but what's the next for this relationship, or what's the next for this union? I don't mean to imply, you know, they need to end. I don't mean that, but there is an end of sorts. There's an end to maybe a dynamic, but in a beautiful way. Of course, like growing on top of like, hey, we got the jobs, we have the house, we started the business. What's next? Where do we take it next? How do we spread out maybe or something? So that could be coming in. Now my turn for one of these guys. Oh, no place like home. So some of you might be actually buying homes through all of this. You know, there's something about, you know, these are very literal, you know.
Very
like
intimate.
Yeah.
Also.
No place with home. It's a beautiful, you know, it's hard for you guys to see, but these are beautiful decks. Yeah, the home, it's security. There's that stability, and that's what's to come. That's in your future. So, you know, it could be starting something, I don't want to say starting something new, but like that next step and what that means in that security and stability. Again, it could be very literal here, and you're buying a home or you're getting that apartment together or something. But if not, and you know, it's not a true marriage kind of situation, it's like we get the office together. We, you know, plan to do something that's more grounding. It could be an online business, but there's something there that's taking shape.
There's a lot of comfort in that
card.
It's
very comfortable.
You know, and it's almost like feeling a part of, feeling safety in the part of. There's a lot of emotion in that middle, in this middle spread.
It is.
And again, we'd love to hear from the audience, because from the first card, marriage, to this, you know, upheaval to them, you know, finally aligning. It could be indicative of many things,
definitely.
You know,
but it's
a relationship
definitely.
Or something that's finally come full circle. I feel such a safety in this card.
I do too. There's like a lavender field beneath, you know, beneath the home, and lavender is so comforting and so sweet.
And the message itself, no place like home. So it's saying really you arrived at somewhere, a destination, or you're arriving, because it's a future card, to a place where you're finally going to be able to feel at peace
with yourself
and a part of. You know, feel
like welcomed, like
arrival,
home. Yeah, there's no other way to put that feeling. We've been talking a lot about starseeds together recently, and that, you know, one of the major things is that they don't feel like home, like that they're home. They always, very often, it's like, oh, I can't relate, I can't. But there's something there for sure to feel that way, to feel like you have the family or the tribe or just all within yourself in balance. So that one's kind of hard to read, because I feel like it can go in so many directions.
It can go in many directions, because as I'm hearing you, I also feel the completion of something. So, you know, accomplishment. You know, like arrival at something fulfilled, like accomplishment. So it could be retirement. You know, it could be something like retirement. It could be something like moving from one location to the next. I feel it's not a little thing.
No.
And yet it's a very positive, emotional thing.
Right, definitely. I feel that. All right, and now selenite. Okay, I think this one's your turn. Just pass it to you now.
Thank you. And so this is the past. Admit your true feelings to yourself. A lot of emotion in this card as well. Authenticity is the first thing I hear. Being more than okay with who you are, where you've been, and unconditional love. I feel almost like a little bit of isolation here in the past, maybe perhaps due to ridicule or someone not seeing you,
misunderstanding,
right. And yet the beautiful message is admit your true feelings. So it's about knowing that no matter what someone sees or thinks about us, that, you know, the greatest empowerment is in being able to rise above whatever that is, to say, I love myself and I love who I am. Right. You know,
there's a courage in that. Yes. You know, you need to be there's a braveness of sorts, I feel, to it's not like a screw everyone else kind of thing, but it's like a I come first and I this matters, this, you know, my feelings matter, how I feel isn't wrong, you know, and like there's a courage there for, like, I don't know, maybe courage isn't the right word, but something like that.
Of course, for light workers or those that are on the spiritual journey, the ability to know that we are unique, that, you know what, not everybody is on this journey. And not everyone is going to be a lover of stones or believe in oracle readings, you know? And that is okay. That's more than okay. Honor yourself and, you know, open yourself to find those that will support, because they will be always those to support us. There's no, I feel a little bit of loneliness in the past from here, right?
Definitely.
And so please know that that's behind you. But as you move forward, to stay very open to knowing that there's always a collective soul family here to support you.
And knowing your feelings and knowing how you feel about something helps those attract you more smoothly. Yeah. Oh. We have Michael, enlightenment. Oh, I'm sorry, enchantment, and the unicorn, which was like the first thing I saw, because I love, we talk about them.
A lot of softness.
Yeah. And there is enchantment, you know, it's like, you could look at enchantment in like a negative tone, I guess, and like, oh, it's been enchanted. I think I've been watching too much Merlin, which is like, they're always like, I don't know if you watch Merlin, it's on Netflix, and it's like, it tells the story of like him growing up, and they're like, she's been enchanted. Like,
oh, I see. Like
but,
that way.
You know,
oh, enchantment is a beautiful word.
It's beautiful.
It's magical.
It is. It's magic. It's magic, you know? So I could see that right now where it might be under some kind of enchantment in a beautiful way. You know, there might be something you're focused on. It might be the tribe. It might be breaking through that loneliness, or like attuning yourself to that resonance of that it's a unicorn, like a unicorn's that theme,
12-dimensional,
totally,
you know,
and it's like a word. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, I'm so sorry, go ahead.
No,
it is a pure being, but in like a more like current word for unicorn, it's like the elusive, you know, like as if we'll never find one, like, oh, I'm after this unicorn, you know, like that kind of thing. So it's to say, it's like a reminder of like, you can have that, whatever that thing is, it's not impossible for you to find. It can come to you the more truthful you are, and the more you believe in it, and the more you honor it too, and present like I want this because I want to be a part of it, not because I want it to save me, you know, or because I want its magic, you know. It's more of a, I want to contribute, I want to care for it, I want to be in that space. So that's kind of just what comes to me here. But I'd love for you to add if you see anything.
My goodness, I love the unicorn, by the way. And
I know you gave me a little unicorn statue. I love it.
To me, the unicorns represent one of the highest dimensions of just complete purity, you know, a purity that does not have to be defined. By the way, may not be defined, you know. Children, special children, indigos, rainbows, empathic, psychic empathic. I feel a lot. And so, you know, I feel that this is an invitation, and the word enchantment is step into your power, I feel. Because nice. The unicorn is there. Step into your divine power, claim your divine gifts. If you suspect, you know, if you are beginning to recognize that you're empathic, that we're all intuitive, but if there's a calling, call the unicorn energy.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Work with the unicorn energy, which is so fluid and cosmic, to allow you to harness it, to develop it, and to guide you.
There's almost like a forgiveness that comes out for me, like whether it's the self or the people who you feel may have judged you or something like that, or even, I don't want to say used you, but you know, who didn't see you, who didn't understand you, that kind of thing. Like, you don't have to look, you can look back at them with a love and then move on from that place, and not a, oh, they didn't get me, and I must be weird, or they're jerks, or, you know, it's like this, like, very, like, again, aligned place, you know, and that purity is what you said. So,
oh, I think it's magical, and the fact that it's enchantment, I feel enchantment is an invitation to step, you know, it's a seductive calling.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, come on, you know, this is going to be good for you, kind of thing.
Being led a bit.
Yes. Oh, I love this. Yeah, I can't even keep track. I get caught up in the cards.
Well, we're both on both of them, but
yeah. Regeneration. Very powerful card in a whimsical deck. There's a lot going on in here, you know. Regeneration, you know. I feel a resurrection of sorts in this card. Awakening or revival after perhaps, you know, an exhausting period, a trying period, a challenging period. Total recharge, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Coming back from the abyss, so to speak.
Right.
So something, you know, like a period of unproductiveness. That's on the lighter side.
Right.
Because I feel something like, wow.
Yeah. Like, that it looks like a magma or something like under the soil there, and for me that's like just like grounding, transformation. Like you've either been doing some work or you're about to do some work, and it might be heavy. Like, that's a good thing though, so I don't mean to put a nasty spin on it at all, like, but powerful, like a powerful, like a need to almost work with earthy energy more. You know, maybe there was an imbalance between the thoughts of, you know, that cosmic unicorn, that cosmic-y energy, but like the regeneration comes from, we're on the material plane is what I'm trying to say. So it's like it has to come from this, like, you know, you taught me that like the depths there.
I think it's such a powerful card, and so yes, you know, in whatever situation you find yourself in, this is a very powerful forward card to say that you are definitely reviving yourself, you know, into a different state, almost like a different state of being, you know, very powerfully so. And so I hope that speaks. And again, I sort of feel that if there's any kind of imbalances, you know, health or something along those lines, what a powerful card that's validating that everything is going to be brought back into divine balance. I love this card. It's very powerful. Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Very powerful.
Beautiful
card.
deck.
Yeah. It's funny because it's the wisdom deck, and some of the cards are very whimsical, very playful, and then some of them, like this one, is boom, you know, has this very strong energy and message.
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't it fun? Maybe one day we should have a discussion on all the different
decks. That would be great. It'd probably be like 5 hours long or something.
My goodness. I don't know about you, but I have like 30, 40
decks. You
decks.
have a lot. I get them and then I give them away. Like, once, I don't really have a ton of space, but now I do. So it might change.
Yes. But you know what? I use maybe 5 out of the 30, and that kind of speaks, you know, again about the tools and how we use them. It's okay to honor the fact that we may be gravitated to certain tools, whether it's stones, candles, teachers, by the way, you know, books, music. But there's always going to be that one or two that we're really going to gravitate to.
They just talk to us easy. They like give us the message, and it's definitely. I see that a lot, and sometimes it's unexpectedly. Like we were just kind of mentioning this before we started recording. It's like sometimes you'll like get this deck, or you'll see it, and you'll be so excited to work with it, and you'll keep trying, and it's just like you don't get that connection. Maybe it will come later. Maybe it's a like put it away and try it again thing. But it's just so interesting. And then once you thought like, oh, it's nice, but then you start using it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is one for me. You know, it's really funny that way. Yeah, it's not predictable.
It isn't. It isn't at all. Well, we hope that this past, present, and future reading spoke to you in some way, and we love to hear from it. You know, hear your impressions, your comments, and we love, by the way, we're very grateful for all the comments that we have received. Right?
Oh my gosh, so much.
It's one of the best parts of recording and uploading, is that then we love to hear you know, your experiences of how, you know, a discussion may have spoken to you, if it helped you in any way.
Definitely. I love just the community aspect as well, you know, especially if I see people interacting with each other. I'm like, oh, there we go.
Yes.
It's so nice. It's such a nice thing to see. There's so many, like, you know, what we were talking about, like it's sometimes hard to find those kind of communities or those friends or whatever, so we just hope that we can create a community like that, even if it's just our comment section, you know, in our Facebook page
and you know, I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's already some familiar names that I see in the comments that I feel like I'm, you know, like they're friends.
Yeah, it works that way.
Cindy, right, and Temperance, right, and of course so many others. But I'm just saying, see, I could just sit here and say like, oh, I look, you know, forward to. I know who they are.
Yeah, totally,
you know?
totally.
And so we so appreciate it. And you know, speaking of communities, which is so very important. Luna and I shared in the previous video that we've been working quietly for a couple of months now on a beautiful retreat that we're putting together in Costa Rica.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And we hope that part of the community, you know, of those who we've connected with and those who have an attunement, you know, that feel a connection to us, are inspired to join us, because it's going to be an incredible, magical experience of both us and of course everyone who attends. Right?
It's gonna be really I'm so excited about it. I can't it's really hard for me to not talk about it, but I don't want to until now. I'm comfortable, like we're very close to, you know, the registration availability and stuff, so we're a little like, okay, we can start to share, you know, but it was really hard to keep it on the down low, keep it in my pocket for a little while, you know? Right. Yeah, it's really great.
Well, you know, it's been fun, just the fruition, as with any endeavor, of seeing it slowly unfold. Right.
And take shape, and
it's
the
like
pieces
an incubation period, right?
And
we like to share that just to encourage you that if you've been investing some time, because, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, whether you're aware or, you know, you're ascended, and certain things have to take the incubation period and divine timing, but the baby is ready to be delivered almost, right?
Yeah, we made it past the the trimester or whatever, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's really exciting. We're very excited about it. I talk about it to people all the time, like in my social circles, like my small things. Well, like the tribe and stuff. Like they're all very curious, and I'm like,
I've been good actually. I
have you have.
I think I may have mentioned it once or something, but again, I'm really excited, holding a feel, and I know that it's going to be an experience both for the participants and for us.
Definitely. It'll be our first one, too, you know? It'll be like our baby, so it's going to have a lot of...
one of many.
Yeah, one of many, for sure. Well, thank you so much, and, you know, we're just so happy to do this, to connect with you, and, you know, we could go on forever, you know? So I'm, like, looking at the time.
Yes, and we will be back with our very timely discussions. We have that long list of beautiful topics, but for the summer now, and just many, you know,
a lot going on.
Right? And so we figured that we wanted to keep the connection open and contribute something that hopefully would, you know, be helpful to you. But we will definitely be back with a beautiful discussion.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And until then, as always, we leave you with our unconditional love, with our light, and without peace. We hope and pray that you're surrounded by your divinity, and don't forget that we love you so very much. Yes,
so much.
Love you.
Right.
Yes.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye. Those are interesting. That's an interesting deck. I've never used it before.
The Tates, actually, the Tates.
Okay.
That's interesting, right? Well, we're definitely not going to let the title guide us, you know. Right? I have no idea what that, but what
I love it.
Well, you felt that this deck was going to be whimsical, right? No kidding. You know what I feel immediately is.
Sorry, that's really good. Oh my god, I love it. Maybe the message is like, laugh.
Right?
Get a sense of humor about this.
Seriously, I don't think the rest of the deck is like that.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
But I feel.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't stop. Woo. Okay.
Okay, let's
take a drink. I'm gonna like stop my feet a little. That really got me like laughing for some reason.
Maybe because we'll say like, what? The taste.
What is a tea? Is that like what they call no man's land?
You want to grab the box
Yeah.
and see what it says?
Yeah, oh my god.
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
I feel like pulling something change in the card.
I have no idea what that is. Is it alphabetical? Sometimes they're alphabetical and they make it so easy.
Oh my god. I'm going to go get my glasses actually.
That was funny. Oh my god. I just laughed so hard. What number is that? Oh, the Fates. The Fates. It's an F.
I don't feel so bad because you looked at it.
I did. I'm not wearing my glasses. I like had to bring it up close. I'm like, the Fates. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was a good laugh though. Laughing is good. It's a blessing.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard. Surprised I didn't pull a muscle or something. Oh my god. Pass your water.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was so good. That was such a good laugh. I love laughs like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, this is really funny, right? Whew, what the f is a taint though? It's like the part between or it's a taint? I don't know.
Oh my god. I have a bellyache.
Okay. That's fine. I know what, I'll edit out. Like we can reflip it over even. It's okay, you know, it's not, we're keeping the card. The card has the message, but we'll edit out the extreme laughing. Well, I'll put it in like a bloopers.
Yeah,
I'm gonna save a folder
after.
just bloopers. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cracking ourselves up. Oh my god, that was funny.
Yes.
That was good. I needed that. I feel like there was an angel that sent that to us. Like,
laugh it off, right?
Yeah.
God bless. That's beautiful. Because, you know, we didn't even plan this. We didn't know what card was going to be there.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just thought like, oh, she got her glasses, you know, like, scratch that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's gone. Like, if that was like the last of it, it was like the like taking out the last of the garbage, and you have to like smack it out. Like, okay, but no, it is beautiful.
Yes.